What if Meghan Markle's fairy tale ending was never meant to include Prince Harry? What if marrying a royal was never the goal, just a stepping stone? Because behind the carefully curated image of a modern duchess, a growing number of insiders claim Meghan's already planning her next chapter. One that doesn't involve the Netflix deals, the faux cooking shows, or the we just want privacy routine. No. This next chapter is all about power, prestige, and billionaire-level access. And Harry, he may have just been the bridge she needed to get there. Welcome to the story behind the smiles, the whispers inside Montecito, and the rumors that Meghan Markle is preparing to leave Prince Harry in the dust. Let's dive in. When Meghan married into royalty, the world assumed she'd secured the golden ticket. The gowns, the tiaras, the private jets, generational wealth, royal prestige. All hers? Right? Wrong. And what she got instead was a disillusioned prince, estranged from his family, navigating therapy sessions, and worth at most a couple $1 million. No castles to call their own, no fortune big enough to fund a media empire. Just mounting pressure, nonstop headlines, and a global microscope that refuses to blink. This isn't what Meghan signed up for. And for someone who knows how to read a room and pivot fast, that matters. Because when the fantasy crumbles, the strategy shifts. Critics like Megyn Kelly haven't minced words. According to her, Meghan got exactly what she needed: a royal title, a global platform, and endless press. She became the Duchess of Sussex. And with that came the kind of fame Hollywood agents dream about. From Oprah's bombshell interview to Netflix specials, magazine covers, and A-list invites, Meghan built an empire on relatability and rebellion. But empires built on image crack when the audience sees the strings. And now that this sympathy is fading, Meghan appears to be recalibrating. Because if the Harry narrative no longer pays off, what or who does? Insiders claim Meghan is slowly reverting to who she was before the palace. An ambitious, media-savvy, image-conscious woman with a sharp eye for powerful rooms. Think pre-royal Meghan, Suits-era Meghan, the one who networked hard, played smart, and always had a plan. Now she's reportedly showing up at billionaire mixers, elite charity galas, and closed-door tech retreats. Not for the press, but for proximity. She's planting herself where power circulates. The goal? Access, attention, and eventually, attachment. Because while her brand may be fading in the public eye, Meghan still knows the value of being seen by the right people. In Montecito, Meghan has tried to pivot her image yet again. This time as a down-to-earth mother balancing kids, business, and advocacy. But here's the problem. It's not landing. Locals in her upscale neighborhood reportedly mock the contradiction. She posts pineapple-cutting hacks and every mom wellness tips, then hops on private jets to climate change summits. One resident allegedly joked, "It's Whole Foods meets Dynasty." It's not just awkward, it's inauthentic. And in today's world, inauthenticity is the kiss of death, especially when your brand depends on being misunderstood, not misaligned. And it's not just Montecito that's backing away. Hollywood is too. Brooke Shields recently threw shade at Meghan's favorite PR tale, her "When I was 11, I wrote a letter empowerment story." Shields, who survived decades in the spotlight, didn't even try to hide the eye roll. That moment, a signal. Meghan's carefully crafted stories aren't just stale, they're starting to irritate people. Even Oprah, who launched Meghan's post-royal career into orbit, hasn't followed up with a second project. And Mindy Kaling? Quiet. The silence says more than any red carpet ever could. Meghan had a vision: to become a lifestyle mogul. Think Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, Kim Kardashian's SKKN, Joanna Gaines's Empire. What she delivered? A cooking show ridiculed by producers, a jam line that flopped, and that now viral pineapple segment, intended as homemaking wisdom, received as comedic gold. Behind the scenes, Netflix executives reportedly grew frustrated. The headlines were big, but the substance wasn't. Meghan didn't want to create. She wanted to pose. And in an industry that values content and consistency, that's a death sentence. The empire she imagined now looks like a Pinterest board with better lighting, but no audience. While Meghan repositions herself, Harry has become a footnote. Those close to the couple say he's barely a shadow of the soldier prince who once defied the crown. He rarely speaks without scripts. He appears next to Meghan, but never ahead of her. He smiles on cue, nods through her speeches, and recites pre-approved sound bites about healing and empowerment. Once a bold figure, now background noise. Critics call it sad. Supporters call it love. But the one thing no one's calling it anymore is inspiring. Rumors are flying that Meghan has been carefully orbiting powerful billionaire figures, mostly in tech and old money sectors. One name keeps popping up: a reclusive European telecom mogul known for dating actresses whose careers are in decline. Another rumor: Meghan has quietly re-established lines of communication with Ted Sarandos. Not for creative collaboration, but for influence, power. It's not romantic, yet, but it's strategic. Sources say she's showing up where the money moves. Quietly, frequently, and always alone. This is the hard truth Meghan may have underestimated. Titles don't trend. Metrics do. Hollywood doesn't care if you're a duchess. It cares if you're profitable. And Meghan, according to one anonymous exec, is now seen as box office poison. Too risky, too polarizing, and worst of all, too repetitive. When audiences stop engaging and allies stop answering your calls, the message is clear. The power you thought you had was borrowed. Tyler Perry once gave Meghan a mansion and a security team. Now he's reportedly hinting at wanting his favors returned. The Obamas, once warm to the couple, haven't appeared publicly with them in years. Not even for charitable causes. Even Netflix's support seems to be waning. And when Oprah starts ghosting you, that's not just a red flag. That's a career obituary in the making. Even her strategic appearances at billionaire mixers and elite tech retreats aren't landing with the same buzz. The photos aren't making front pages. The gossip isn't fueling intrigue. It's fueling eye rolls. One high-level source called her a player who overstayed her welcome. Not scandalous enough to be controversial, not successful enough to be admired, stuck, overexposed, box office poison. And while Meghan may still be clinging to the idea of a new chapter, with a new man, a new empire, a new brand, the men she's allegedly positioning herself around, they're billionaires, sharks, legacy builders. They don't fall for PR sparkle. They spot social climbers from a mile away. They want discretion. Meghan brings noise. They want innovation. Meghan brings repetition. They want value. And that's the part that's becoming dangerously unclear. And through all this, Prince Harry remains present, silent, a fading figure who once walked away from the crown to find peace and now seems lost in a whirlwind of interviews, docuseries, and pineapple demonstrations. At public events, the pattern is always the same. Meghan speaks, Meghan leads, Meghan commands the room, Harry lingers, watches, nods. Is he loyal or just resigned? Because even as Meghan appears to quietly draft her exit plan, Harry's standing in the wings, still trying to play his role in a show that's rapidly losing its audience. And that's what makes this moment feel so surreal. This isn't just the end of a brand. It might be the end of a partnership. A royal story rewritten, not with rebellion, but with retreat. So when the final curtain falls, the question won't be, what's next for Meghan and Harry? It'll be this: was any of it ever real? Or was it all just the performance of a lifetime? And now here she is, adrift. Once cloaked in royal tradition, protected by centuries of protocol and mystique, Meghan Markle now floats freely in the open sea of celebrity culture. Unanchored, unguarded, and undeniably exposed. Because whatever your opinion of the royal family, one thing is certain: the crown offered structure, boundaries, legitimacy. It gave Meghan the myth. It gave Harry the pedestal. And when they walked away, they didn't just leave behind tiaras and castles. They left behind the very system that made their image bulletproof. Now, they're navigating alone. No royal institution to control the narrative. No Hollywood titan to defend the brand. No Oprah interview to reset public sympathy. Just two people, and one of them might already be looking for the emergency exit. And that next billionaire chapter she's allegedly chasing, it's not looking like a strategy, it's looking like a lifeline. Because the truth is, in the world Meghan's trying to conquer now, titles mean nothing. Metrics mean everything. And right now, the numbers don't lie. The public isn't captivated. They're checked out. She's no longer the empowered icon. She's the punchline in a cautionary tale about what happens when ambition outpaces authenticity. And as for Prince Harry, the man who left everything behind in the name of love now finds himself sidelined, watching the woman he followed into exile quietly search for a new stage to perform on. This isn't just a fall from grace. It's a reminder. Royalty may open the door, but only substance keeps you in the room. So here's where we are. No crown, no castle, no clear direction. Just a woman who thought she beat the system, only to realize the system was the only thing keeping the illusion alive. And now the illusion is gone. The curtain has closed, the audience has left, and Meghan, she's still out there, searching for that next act. But the world, it might already be done watching.